I'm going to start off right away with the question. What I want to know from you is, are you a competitive gamer, and do you enjoy being a competitive gamer? So to answer right off the bat, I want to say that yes, I am absolutely a competitive gamer. When it comes down to playing games, I don't like stepping on people's toes. I don't like hurting people. I don't like seeing people frustrated. But on the flip side, I really enjoy winning. It's not the most important thing, but I really enjoy winning. But more of that, I enjoy doing a good job. Anything that I can do where I can invest a lot of myself into it and see results of something awesome happening, I am all over that. That is like the thing I go to all the time. So one of the first examples I want to give is BlazBlue. When I start playing that game and I have no idea how button combinations work, and then I start learning character and start to put two and two together, see what attacks flow into the others really, really well, and it starts to show that my combos are effective and I start to learn the kind of shapes and flow of how everything goes, it's such a satisfying feeling. And when you get these like flow of how everything goes that are like 30 or 40 hits in a row and you are just going to town on someone, it's such a satisfying experience. And that is what makes me a competitive gamer. Another example is I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, and through that I've learned to play other card games and board games, trading card games. I played Magic, I've played Force of Will, I now play Star Wars Destiny. It's a really fun game. And putting a lot of effort and thought into making your deck to build it up, and then seeing the combos that you built into the deck itself come to fruition is an incredible feeling for me. That is what drives me to be a competitive gamer. That, and I kind of have a weird philosophy of life where nothing's worth doing unless you can do it well. And I'm not saying don't do something if you're not good at something, but like if you're going to do something, be good at it, or strive to become good at it. Learn and try to improve with everything you do. And this honestly applies to every single bit of my life. This is not just gaming. That's kind of where my competitive nature comes from. However, if you go on YouTube and you search for top Hearthstone players, you will see them calling out moves 2 or 3 turns in advance. They know the game so well, and they know it so inside and out that they know every card you're going to play, and they're calling it. They're basically telling you this is what you're doing, or this is the optimal play. When most people think of competitive sports, they think of that. Or they think of the fighting game community as a whole, which has a bad reputation for being super rage-inducing, very salty, a lot of people yelling at each other, being in each other's faces, and that's just not... Neither of those things are really good opening points for people who don't know anything about competitive gaming and are really interested in it. Or they think of professional gaming or major league gaming, where there's all these first-person shooter players who are essentially just jocks, I guess, would be a good term. I mean, maybe people think, when they say competitive gaming, they think about the Korean, like, StarCraft community, which is absolutely insane, and whoa. That's I'm getting a little bit off, but you get the idea. I feel like competitive gaming is one of those things that when you hear competitive gaming, you think intense, and there's nothing short of super intense, super dedicated, in a good way or bad way, whatever. Now, like I said, I consider myself a competitive gamer, but I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that end result of super crazy intense. I think the best way to describe what I'm interested in when it comes to competitive gaming is I am a competitive gamer in the same sense of, like, when you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Or when you watch Buddy Fight or any other game-based anime, there's always such a dramatic element to what they're doing. And there's so much triumph when they underdog and they come back with this crazy ability or crazy thing that just wins them the game and sweeps. That's my type of competitive gaming. I want to put together that dramatic event. I want to make that happen so that everybody just jumps out of the seat and goes, oh, it's so cool. So, that kind of thing. If you haven't seen it, just Google "That Ain't Falco" and just that entire meme. That's all that I'm about when it comes to competitiveness. What I'm not is... I'll go back to Hearthstone again. I just recently watched someone play through their deck. They know the game so well and have studied the game so well that they know the optimal play and the optimal value at any given time. I don't want to mock that. It takes a lot of work, and they should be really proud of their talent. That is insane that they can do that. But it's not something I enjoy in competitive nature. You will have an advantage over someone like me who wants to pull the underdog in the dramatic whatever if you are the type of person to memorize strategies and a lot of optimal things. I like to go off of intuition rather than studying. I guess what I'm trying to say is when I see people who are so ingrained in their game that they have every bit of it memorized and every optimal strategy memorized and can execute perfectly, especially when it comes to card games where you can predict 5-6 turns in advance versus like Smash Brothers, where if you can predict what your opponent's next 3 moves are gonna be, that's insane. Like, your processing power in your brain is nuts. So to me, seeing that kind of kills the game. It's fun to watch, but if I were to ever come up to someone like that and play against them, I would lose face completely. I would just not know how to react. I would not know how to play the game, and I would lose my ability to be competitive. So I guess that is as far as I've gone when it comes to competitive nature of gaming. I'll put this in another example too. When I was a lot younger, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And there was one time that I went into the regional tournament for Yu-Gi-Oh! That had 50 or 60 people there. After playing 3 or 4 rounds against people who knew the game so well and knew every meta deck that was out there and what they were going to come up against, and have planned and done a great job strategizing and becoming great at the game, I totally lost momentum and I just lost energy. Like, I just was not interested in the game anymore because no one was having I don't want to say no one was having fun, but no one was cracking jokes. Everyone was very focused, very concentrated, and I wasn't having a good time. So after about the third round, I was young. I was like 14, 15, something like that. I called my dad and I said, "Hey, can you come pick me up? I'm done with this." And he was like, "What? I thought you were in the middle of this big tournament that's going to go till like midnight." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just not having fun." So I guess that's a good example of where I come from when it comes to competitive games. I love being intense. I love playing the game and making really awesome plays. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, one of the best players in any game that I've played, but I feel like I'm pretty good, and I'm happy with that. Mostly because I like diving in and doing a good job to the best of my abilities. So I guess that kind of wraps up what I'm trying to say. What about you, listener? Person who is absorbing the content through the audio waves of the tubes that are coming out of the tubes. I want to know, what kind of competitive gamer are you? I know a lot of the people who are listening here will have some sort of a competitive bone in their body to play. And I want to know, at what level are you competitive? What do you enjoy about the competitive scene? What do you hate about the competitive scene? Do you consider yourself competitive at all? Am I totally wrong in my definition of competitive? Either way, just tell me things. Comment in the YouTube section below, tweet at me, send me a message, anything. I really want to hear from you. What do you think about the competitive scene of everything? Use your words at me, because I want to talk more. So talk at me.